Good morning. So today what I wanted to do was clean up and coat the Chevy 3100. Finally got this back from the interior shop after about 2 months of work, getting the interior fully redone. I'll show you guys that in a bit, but for now let's clean her up. Per usual, we'll dry it up quick. Got it all cleaned up, but off camera I'm going to do it. I did on the Super Snake in the last video, or 2 videos ago. I'm going to coat it, only so it's nice and protected for the season. I also got to clean the inside of the glass. I think that's the new interior gas knob a little bit. Then I'll give you guys a tour of the car. Okay, I got the 3100 coated and clean. She looks perfect. So for those who are not familiar with this hasn't been on the channel too much because it's been in the shop most of its life, but this is a vehicle I bought sight unseen from Earth Motor Cars. I think they're down in Dallas, Texas. I shouldn't say sight unseen. I did, FaceTime and had videos and pictures and all this stuff sent. Just like all these cars, and I want to make sure that the condition is as they say it is, and that was turnkey, perfect, immaculate. As perfect as you could imagine. That's what they were claiming this thing was. It comes in, and of course, it is not. I don't want to spend this whole video complaining or showing you guys what was wrong with it. And I'd rather show you what was right. But I do want to share with you guys just a little bit of caution. Don't do what I did. But something like this, these classic cars, unlike these, you kind of expect to get what you get because they're brand new and they're made on an assembly line with robots, and these things are all done by hand because they're 70 years old. So this guy came in and it is not in the condition that you see it here. I had to do a whole bunch of body shop stuff. We had dents, scrapes, scratches, dings. The windshield had to get replaced. I didn't have to, but I did. There's chips in there. There was rust pockets forming on top of the windshield and down here where water collects. Under the hood, I gotta use 2 hands for this. This needed a lot of work. We ended up replacing these pistons for the hood. They were just some, I guess, cheap ones, and they were stuck in there with Bondo. I'm surprised they last as long as they did. We got that all patched and fixed up. Got these nice piston hinges in there. Also, we replaced these too. These actual hinges, not just these, but we replaced both. Nice billet hinges. So it's tracks nice. Before it had a lot of wiggle room to it. Yeah, I'll be able to wiggle this hood. Not anymore. The headlights are both shot, so we got some period correct headlights, and they look sharp. I gotta get Soulshy out here to fix this clear wrap. These mirrors are useless, but at least they look good while they're on there. But this one had to get replaced. These doors were not aligned properly, so this was not easy to do, and they wouldn't shut, and that took no effort. Got the windows tinted. The alignment was way off on here. Put my fingers through here and I could, I got some space between this and the tire on the other side, or vice versa. Your fingers are up against the tire. Again, more body work over here. We ended up repainting basically half the vehicle. Whole top half got done. The fenders got repainted, the running boards. These things were all chipped up from people treating them as running boards. What is that? There's some tape right there. And actually stepping on them, which, yeah, they're strong enough for you to step on, but I don't want to have people put their feet on there. And if they do, I have it clear wrapped, just in case. The entire vehicle is actually clear wrapped. Taillights had to get replaced, exhaust got reworked, the brakes were... There's a valve, I don't understand it before. There's a valve underneath there that it was all the way closed, so it was only using the braking power from the rear brakes. And then we also ended up, I think, replacing calipers on the front and back. I think those things were shot. The e-brake didn't work. What else? I think we replaced the motors for the wipers. Not that I'm ever going to use them. But most recently, I had it in the shop for about 2 months. The interior was getting redone. It was used to be this cheap vinyl, kind of a light gray with red. But also, at some point, the coolant system failed on the inside and ended up leaking throughout the cabin. So the carpet was just wrecked. It ate or eroded the adhesion for the carpet that was on there before, and it was just peeled up. The vinyl was nasty smelling, in nasty condition. Look at this now. It's still vinyl. I didn't do leather because I wanted to save some money. But it's still a vinyl interior, nice and black. This is that nice and suede Alcantara type material. It's done by Knish Kustomz. They're pretty local to me here in Minnesota. With his help, we designed and redid this full interior. This little guy, this armrest, was about yay big before. Now you can see here, it's nice and stout. Inside here, let me get some light. Look at that, the entire headliner is suede, and then the visors themselves are the black vinyl. Ended up redoing the steering wheel as well. Didn't do anything with the dash. I did end up replacing the radio unit because the other one in there was junk. But Knish did a really good job. Look at this. Look how clean that looks. Seats turned out awesome. One thing back here too is I did is we got this sweet little battery box painted to match the outside. Quick disconnect. We added seat belts too for safety. Truck was really decent before, but now she's perfect. That black on gray. Oof. The carpet turned out really nice. Classics Plus also added a bunch of sound dampening, so as I'm sitting here talking, I don't hear any echo or anything. Yeah, well, this is a vehicle that I'll end up showing off a little bit. We don't bring our cars to car shows, but there's a local one here that I think I'll enter this in. Yeah, it's just sweet. Love it. I always wanted a 50s pickup truck because something about them is just really cool from every angle. And then have it be a resto mod like this, so it's reliable, turnkey, works every time. Can't ask for anything better. These do have the ability to fold down the hinge back there, but I like that they're just bolted into place so you don't have the, I mean, I'm never going to use it as a truck. That's what the TRXs are for. This is going to be used just like a sports car, like all of these. Very seldom, nice weather. It's classic, so I can't use it as a daily driver. This is a definite keeper. The whole thing is clear wrapped too, so it'll stay nice forever. So yeah, glad to have this back. It's been a minute since it's been at the toy box, but she's home and she is complete. Oh yeah, so before I had a parking brake down here that wasn't working. Now it's this electric one. Cool. I never even pushed that before. There's a, you won't be able to see, but there's a brake line right underneath here that holds it. Sweet, that works nice. Check out the lights. Isn't that cool? Every angle, this thing just looks awesome. Taillights work as they should. So do the license plate lights. This took a minute for me to figure out. There's a little button down here. You probably can't see it. It's right here. See that? It doesn't work. I'll need to get that fixed, but that is supposed to open up this guy here. Alright, that's a problem. I can't put gas in this thing without that thing working. Well, spoke a little too soon. She's not quite ready. I have to bring it to the shop again for that. It's probably electrical. Maybe something just got unplugged. But damn, it's another trip to the shop. Alright, let me know what you guys think. I think it's a really tasteful build. I like this wood bed here. Just looks classic. I kind of wish it went darker on the tint, but it's tasteful, right? It's not too dark. Alright guys, let me know what you think. I'm going to end this here. As always, appreciate watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.